let's do a few more tactics runs. Gotten a little bit of feedback on how exactly, on some of the stuff that I was talking about in the most recent video that I did. Saying that, you know, the way that I was looking at tactics and the way that I think that I would like to see tactics kind of currently working, you know, having some more survival type of stuff. I mean, not like literally, but, you know, in a figurative way. You were saying that if you were trying to go for a true... Oh, this might be an issue. If you were trying to go for a true sort of glass cannon build, you wouldn't really have any sort of survival stuff. So what I'm thinking about right now is that I want to have like a little bit of an open air forum, see what other people think about some of the changes that have been happening in Dead Cells and the most recent alpha version. Kind of see, it's like, what do you think about the Assassins type of build that Motion Twin has been throwing down here? Good? Bad? I mean, of course, my opinion, as somebody did point out in the comments, is kind of based around like how I like to play the game. So, needless to say, I'm going to be looking at this, you know, high cell count, and with the assumption that I'm probably going to be hit more than a few times. But really, when it comes to 5-cell mode, or well, even just about anything when it comes to Dead Cells, you're going to be getting hit a lot. I just think that there's a number of different scenarios where it's just impossible not to do that. Number one, probably bosses. And tiny in the inescapable room, can't really do it too... 3 times right in the face, eh? Okay. Well, anyway, the other thing that I want to do is I want to try to do a build, and I will grab that. I do want to do a build based around trying to go for invisibility here. Invisibility does definitely strike me as one of the most interesting of the... I'll grab this for right now and then switch it out later. Does strike me as the most interesting of the newest mutations introduced here, so I want to see if I can do a little bit more with that. Waiting for the light speed and spin to win only. Well, I'm going to be doing 5-cell, so if I can get that weapon, I am going to be pretty happy with that. I feel like there's probably not going to be too much of an update for a little while here. But yeah, going old school with the ice bow. Had Polanco in the comments. My good friend from Argentina suggests this type of build for me. I might go for some other suggested type of stuff, but I do feel like it really kind of exemplifies the whole Assassins type of build that people were, that Motion Twin has been talking about trying to do here. Spin to win weapon is not here. Haven't done a 5-cell run just yet. And I don't really know if I'm going to be successful in this one. I just want to, like I was saying right at the start of this, I want to see more of like a open air type of discussion on what you think the spin to win weapon is the 5-cell specific one, if you were asking about that. I suppose that's probably a little bit more what you were asking here. Right, you and then also Phaser. This is definitely a sort of crowd control and melee type thing. The whole like hit and run tactics that I think you want to go for when it comes to working with a tactics build like this one here. All right. And yes, so I was saying at the start here, it's just like, so I don't know. I mean, the way that I look at it when it comes to tactics especially is that there's just, oh God, got it. The way that I look at it when it comes to tactics is that there's just, you can't get away from getting hit, especially when it comes to like late game. So that's just sort of an inherent problem when it comes to working with tactics for me. Try as you might, I mean, unless you're playing exceptionally well, there are just some times that you're going to run into trouble, especially when it comes to like box elites or getting sniped through the wall as far as attempting to, you know, by bombardiers or inquisitors, all that sort of stuff. But I also see that it's just like, you know, it is supposed to be a... there was a time when phasers were stacking so they actually did a decent amount of damage on their own. You can still do some stuff with phases if you get like the shoots out a volley of arrows affix on there. It's just that one's, I want to say, like, not the ideal thing to be looking for when it comes to any sort of run here. Painted Flask fits better with tactics. I mean, I think that is actually true. When I'm thinking about stuff, I mean, you know, I said, like, yeah, I want to see more survival with tactics. That's not necessarily true. It's more I mean, obviously, you know, there is a stat called survival. You want to... Ooh, give me this one. Yes. Yes, that's actually very good. You want that. I don't know. I just think that it's like glass cannon needs something to make it work. But that's also something that works a lot on really high cell difficulties versus low cell stuff. It's, you know, there is a really delicate dance when it comes to dead cells, especially when it comes to making something work in high cell difficulty versus something work in low, versus not being overpowered in low cell difficulty. So, I don't know. Feel throwing knives being brutality is an amazing change. I think that, I even said in that video that if Alchemic Carbine is going to be brutality scaling, why not throwing knives? They're, in some ways, I mean, in some ways they can be better, in some ways they can be worse. So why not just throw that together? And I do think that if they're not going to change anything else, at least keep, if they're going to revert a lot of the other stuff, at least keep that happening. Most builds are glass cannon by the end of 5 boss cell. Tactics needs more cannon. I don't know. I think tactics... turrets are some of the biggest and most powerful damage sources in the game. They are passive. They can have a lot of great affixes on there for, like, you know, poison, giving you a little bit of damage reduction, extra damage, everything like that. I don't know if that's necessarily something that that they need a lot more. When it came to my latest run, I kind of screwed up with how I was working with, what do you call it? Stat distribution, getting good synergies there, and that kind of ruined my, what should have been a lot more damage by endgame, but a normal run, if you're really planning for it, I do think you can get a lot of damage. More damage than ever out of that sort of thing. The people, we want better tactics weapons. Motion twins make cursed sword survival. I mean, it's not terrible. There's some good survival scaling stuff. Get some good shield type of play in there. I think you can make that happen if you want to. But yeah, another tactics run. I want to be talking about tactics today. I think that people were bringing up a lot of good points about... People were bringing up a lot of good points in the last comment section about how tactics runs should really be a lot more cannon... Well, a lot more glass than I think they should be. You know, try to prevent them from all becoming the uniform, same sort of run, basically brutality over time. And I just want to see what other people think of that. And not a real doc. Hey, don't tell them, otherwise I'll get kicked out of the country club, man. Sure, I'll switch this out. Better stuff going on here. The people, has anyone discussed rapier proccing off a phaser? Oh, like having the rapier have its extra criticals or something after you do a phaser? I think that would probably work. I've always talked about phaser as being sort of a, what would you call it? A role replacement in some ways. That's actually another thing too. It's like, okay. So if we are saying that it's just like, okay, don't give tactics extra survival options. Don't give them the ability to get more healing or something like that. That's ridiculous. That's a stupid idea. That was just something that I was spitballing there. What if you gave, like, more dodge chance? I like the whole idea behind the invisibility thing, but I do think that the place where tactics really suffers, especially when you're going for, like, high cell runs, you know, your 4-5 cell and everything like that, is boss fights. Boss fights are just, they don't work too well with the hit and run tactics. And your dodging options are the same between every class. Every single stat can roll. Every single stat can jump over stuff, can position themselves well in one way or another. Maybe something like giving extra invincibility frames on rolling as a tactics thing, or a flat dodge chance? I mean, that's a sort of survival that I'm thinking about without giving, like, extra health. Because, obviously, if you want to do tactics and you just want to make it so that it's tankier, you can just give tactics more health. But that's not what I think Motion Twin wants to do. And I agree when people are telling me that it's like, that's not really what what people want to see when it comes to these sort of runs. I don't know. And also, yeah, most builds are glass cannon by the end of 5 cell. That is true. It's like, even if you have over 100,000 health, you can... The final boss is an endurance run, and tactics runs, I think, fall apart a lot when it comes to working up against something that you can't blitz down extremely fast. How about a cape that turns enemies around when it hits them? What, like a... You're talking about Mario's cape from Smash Brothers. I think that would be interesting. What if, like, Tornado or... yeah, how about that? For when you're not going up against enemies that can be hit around easily by Wave of Denial, you instead have them... Oh, no! And that's the tactics problem already! Oh, God! It's going so badly, so fast! But, yes, something like that could work. Oh, jeez. Tactics could give you more mutations to give you more options. I mean, I do think that a lot of the stuff that happens with tactics mutations is that they are focused around giving you extra damage, and if you're building it right, you don't need extra I died. You don't need extra damage in a run for a lot of the times. Also, the stream's stuck. Oh, I thought you said they suck. Let me take a check real quick. Trust me, you're not missing anything. I died hella bad. Am I dropping frames? No, I'm not dropping frames, so he should be good. They also suck. Fair enough. That's why I still do regular videos on top of all of that. Don't worry about it. All right, mutation that scales with dodge, roll, cooldown. Ooh, dodge, roll, cooldown I think would be interesting. I was saying like flat dodge %, but that's another thing that I don't really like because I think that just feeds into, you know, hey, RNG stuff. And a lot of the options you have for healing are already heavily RNG based. For example, finding food in levels and making sure that food isn't something that's going to be malazing you up even more. I don't know. Hello, Daddy Doc. Ooh, I just stopped watching anime to watch you. You better notice me. Well, of course I did, Mr. Cat. You know I can't ignore somebody who's going full meme like that. Oh, God. A lot of cheap shot type of enemies that kind of work poorly when it comes to preventing you from taking too much damage. For example, the knife-throwing guys here can sneak up on you real fast. And elite, these guys are also not something that's helping me out too much either. It's all a lot of fun shenanigans going on here in Dead Cells world. This game is very difficult. And that's also why I think that it wouldn't be entirely out of line to give some sort of, like, health or something like that options to a tactics run, just because, well, Dead Cells is an incredibly, incredibly difficult game. That you cannot... Oh, it's so hard to just say, don't get hit, forehead. No. Oh, that's actually very nice. I will grab you one here, and because bleed propagation is something that can help out a lot if you're not getting just completely wrecked by many, many elites right now. As I am doing. What's poppin'? Glad I could catch it. Oh, just talking about... I'm just trying to see what other people got to say about tactics runs and how they've kind of been changing up and what people might want or not want out of a type of run here. I honestly wish knife throwers just didn't exist. They always ruin my 5 boss cell runs. Oh, how many times have they killed me when I got cursed and it's just... Well, you walked into the wrong neighborhood and you're dead. Because that happens a lot. And it's hard because, you know, even if you have a shield, which would normally, you'd think, counter them pretty well, instead, it just will stun them. They'll get breached for just long enough that they stagger their throwing and then hit you twice anyway. Fun stuff, fun stuff. I miss when they would get stunned by you walking into them. What's the hardest weapon to use? Oh, I don't know what the... A grappling hook, maybe, because that one's can be powerful, but usually by the time you get a lot of power out of it, it's not too good. You also have to, like, maybe like a rapier, because rapiers will go over or under flying enemies, and that's generally not good for you. Broadsword, you tend to get hit while you're attempting to get some good hits in. Oh, there's a lot of them that are tricky to use. Ooh, how about just regular old Nerves of Steel. Nerves of Steel are pretty rough. Survival needs a buff, and knife throwers need to be sent to the gulag. Yeah, give him the old arbiter treatment. Don't you think they should remove useless weapons instead of buffing them? I like the idea that they're trying to make every weapon in one way or another become, you know, just grab this right now. I hope I don't need to use the healing. Let's just see. Don't knife throwers still get stunned if you hit them? I mean, every enemy gets stunned if you hit them hard enough, but for a time there, they got stunned if you just walked into them. They had like a very brief stun, and that was a good change if you were to ask me, but I'm pretty sure it's not happening anymore. At least, let's see. Maybe they gotta be like, you gotta be unnoticed or something first, but I don't think they do that. You can play the game in Hungarian for a change. All right. Sure. All right, yeah. As long as I don't lose my run here, because I feel good about this one. Is it this one? I don't know. It also gives me a second to start reading other people's comments here. Breach threshold mutations. Oh, yeah, give an enemy so that they breach easier, making it maybe possible to breach on bosses. That would be a way to get a little bit of extra crowd control versus there's no Hungarian, do it in Russian. I do at least know that's this one, right? Great stuff. That's Turkish, but Turkish is fine. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know. As I'm sure you could probably guess. Nerves of Steel is the most fun bow in the game. Pretty easy to time after 1 or 2 areas of practice. Yeah, it's just that the rough thing with it is that it has a lot less ammo now, so it doesn't work as well. They should remove Spite Sword. I like Spite Sword. I really like the thing that they got for it, where you can get criticals off of getting cursed. I think that's a pretty good change. Hope the stream will be available later. I do want to make this one available later, because I want this to be something of a podcast, you know, as a supplementary episode to the last one I did, because I think it's... I don't know. I want to see what else other people got to say when it comes to working with the tactic stuff right now. Cool to have a colorless mutation that gives you a very small health regen as long as you don't get damaged. Oh, like a passive regen? I do think that might just promote people to sit in shops forever, though. Which, I mean, hey, you know, it's much like pudding farming in NetHack. The punishment is that you're pudding farming, which is the most boring thing in the world, but at the same time, it might, you know, convince people that it's like, well, man, that's the only way to play the game. Because this is that sort of game where sometimes the only way to win is to cheese it out like crazy. Assassin's Dagger is now tactics scaling? Yeah, that's why I wanted to do this. I wanted to go for a little bit more of the tactics build, hence you get the CC. Also, I had it recommended by my good friend, what is his name? Can't remember his first name, Polanco. So I thought, yeah, sure, let's give her a try here. This kind of epitomizes what I think Motion Twin is trying to go for with these sort of runs here, too. Bam and bam. Let's go. Nope, don't hit me. Okay. God friend. I wouldn't call him a god. Forgets her name? Yeah, well... What do you want from me? My memory is very select. You want to ask me about anything related to Dead Cells, you got the human wiki here. You want to ask me about people's names, I forget all the time. Twin daggers could also be survival. I want to say they're a little... Daggers are extremely fast, you know, have very specific crits, like backstabbing and hitting them when they're on poison or whatever. Twin daggers, I think, are just like a regular, decent weapon that fits a little bit more in the brutality state of mind, although I do think that you can really convince me one way or another. And like I was saying, I think that one of the things you got to remember is that people are, more often than not going to be playing on 4 and 5 cell difficulties, so balancing things correctly is hard. Just, period. I don't know. Best melee weapons, I think Giant Killer and the Assassin's Dagger. Giant Killer, I think, is unquestionable. That's such a good weapon. It is one that, like, I want to say that you can have trouble going through the individual areas and everything like that, but bosses, more often than not, are the big roadblocks when it comes to getting a really good run going. Giant Killer helps out with that to an amazing degree. I mean, the last time I used Giant Killer as part of a run, I perfected the Hand of the King. That is a feat for me. I'm not very good. How is he knowing the stats? I can tell because of the colors and the... I've played this game enough to know what, like, every color and, like, what every weapon and everything looks like. I mean, that's not going to fool me too much. I can flip this to any language, and just based on how long the description for something is, I'll know what it is. we are currently at that sort of realization, that sort of satori happening in this game, let me tell you. Doc is a liar. He's hacking. Or maybe I just can actually read Russian. Who knows? How far is the Xbox version compared to PC? This is an alpha, so technically, unless you are feeling really confident in your ability to play in untested realms, this is only PC for a while. You're not going to get this on... You're not even going to get this on the live version for quite some time. Yeah, I'm a doctor in linguistics. That's how I know every language known the man. Don't fall into the... Real close. But yeah, I don't know. Anything else people want to say about, like, tactics? I do think that that's kind of the interesting thing, because I do think that that glass cannon, it just doesn't work very well when it comes to Dead Cells. I just think Dead Cells is a game where perfect play... I've said before, I'll say again, that, you know, perfect play in boss fights to try to promote you to blast them with everything. To try to promote, like, getting legendary items can just unbalance the game in really weird ways, and that having no ability to heal up or anything like that is just... It's a little too glass for me. But I don't know. I know every language known to man, but can't speak Hungarian. Yeah, well, there we go. You found me. You have uncovered my web of deceit. Congratulations. Oh, come on. Now that was... See, that's the sort of stuff I'm talking about, where you sometimes just get some cheap hits. Teleport up here, and I will really get some good hits in. There we go. We're pretending to know Russian now. I mean, no, I don't expect to know Russian. It's just, I'll take requests. If you request a language, I'll go do it. Why not? We're at that sort of thing. Shrapnel axes should be buffed in a very interesting way. Making compatible with Ripper, which is not right now. It is... I do think it's kind of... Actually, I do want this one. I do think it's kind of compatible with Ripper. It's just not amazing. Ripper is something that works really well on low cell difficulty, gets completely kicked to the curb on high cell difficulty, which is why I know that it's like my suggestions of giving you like a regen are kind of ridiculous when it comes to tactics. That's not going to work. That's just going to unbalance like low cell difficulty like crazy. It should be something that works with what the glass cannon type of build is, what they want to do with it, and not just overpowered nonsense, which is what I want, of course. Game design is quite the sticky wicket now, isn't it? Of course, you already knew that. This is Russian. I don't know what I'm doing. Neither do I, but, I mean, I can at least make some educated guesses based on, you know, 1,000 hours of playtime in this game. Bam. This, as always, is quite the good build. Make certain skills or mutations 4-5 cell limited. There is a way you could do that. Think about, like, yeah, that is actually something that I was thinking about, like, earlier, you know, when I'm in the doldrums, 3 o'clock or whatever at work. It's like, what if they just went the alienation route? You know how you can't get... Not alienation, acceptance. What if they just went the acceptance route and you can only get the mutation on high cell difficulties? Now, that does mean that you are going to have content gated behind difficulties, which I don't know if Motion Twin really wants to be working towards that sort of thing. But that would be one way you could do it. I don't know. this is the whole thing that, like, I want to get some people's inputs in on here, because new tactics for a weapon, an actual glass cannon. Yeah, go full on, like, Binding of Isaac and make it so that, you know, you use a glass cannon. It will go past boss damage caps and everything like that, but it will leave you with the one hit point, the last chance mechanic. That would be interesting, but it would basically be like using Cursed Sword, which I don't think is the best idea. Vex was always that one on Love Child, just got a piece of bread. You're talking like Great Expectations style. No, tactics used to be the king. It used to be the king. I mean, you remember when we had like Death Orb, Pyrotechnics, and just it was just an insane like a festival of nonsense when it came to like balancing stuff, but it was too good. And then they introduced Malaise, and you know, Death Orb stopped being as good, it got destroyed, and etc. and so on. It's just, and now it's just weird. It's weird how stuff works, and like, I don't know. What do I want here? What do I want? Maybe, you know what, this could kind of be good. I'll try it. It'll be kind of interesting if they made more content only available on high cell difficulties like they did with the Cavern and the Astral. Well, the Cavern is not technically the Cavern is technically available on all boss cells. You just have to beat the game to do it. Astrolab is, of course, only available on 5 cell, which I think is, to be honest, kind of a sticking point, because that is really gated content, and 5 cell difficulty is so hard. It is so difficult. I don't know. I still go tactics and survival, but of course I'm forever stuck on 2 cell. I mean, I do think that it's just, that is one of those things where it's like, tactics only becomes less viable on high cell difficulty, where it becomes really, oh no, watch out for that tentacle. Do the tentacles teleport to you? Well, I suppose we're gonna find out in like seconds when I get killed by it. Oh, this might be an issue. What was I saying here? Mutation with HP regeneration over time. Yeah, somebody suggested that, but I was also saying, like, well, that does also just, you know, promote hanging out in a shop forever. But maybe it could be something along the lines of, after a kill... Okay, didn't die. You get, like, a little bit of HP. No, you're just suggesting necromancy again. I think it should be based around dodging, invisibility, huge amount of damage reduction. You know, something that would really work towards what I think Motion Twin wants to do with... It shouldn't be just like regen. Regen is survival. Survival is regen. I agree. I kind of want this one more. That's more what I think survival is supposed to be. Somebody said, like, Tainted Flask is something that you kind of expect to see more on a tactics run. I don't disagree with that. I think that could work, but... like, it's also... I don't know. There's so many factors here, and, you know, games and balance of games are just constantly something that is hard to get working. How about in terms of HP, you get damage reduction if you're near a turret? I mean, there are turrets like that. I mean, I talked about it even before, but damage reduction is also something that is more of a brutality thing. I mean, that's why you have stuff like, Berserker and everything working as it does. Why Russian? Oh, somebody wanted me to put on Hungarian, but I couldn't find Hungarian, so somebody else wanted Russian. I don't know. I'm nothing if not a people pleaser. To complement the nature of glass cannon, nature of tactics, I was wondering if you get a mutation where you get some sort of healing if you strike an enemy. Oh, if you kill an enemy in a single strike. Oh, that's actually kind of an interesting idea, which would really... that would play towards how the whole tactics things work, especially if you... I do think that tactics does work in that way. I don't know if that would just promote, like... you know, try to avoid having a... No! Watch out for them tentacles. That might just promote having, like, extremely high burst damage and not damage over time, which I think is kind of part of the tactics toolkit. At least in my opinion, I don't know. Now, CC grenades aren't brutality. I hope this means Motion Twin will tear down arbitrary restrictions on items. Not all melee weapons need brutality. Not all shields need to be survival. I do agree with that. I mean, one of the things that definitely has happened in this latest update is the fact that not every single skill needs to be tactic scaling, and that's fine with me. Something like Death Orb being pure survival is good. That's a good change. I think that that's something that I would definitely appreciate. It's like, yeah, not every melee needs to be brutality. Not every skill needs to be tactics. Not every shield needs to be survival. Make it so that things can be a whole melange. Although that is kind of one of the things that people were saying, where it's like, yeah, okay, this is good. Where it's like, you also don't want to see, like, every single weapon be sort of just the cut of the same morass. Whatever sort of build you get is just arbitrary. It's like things should have their own sort of uniqueness to them. Maybe not healing with killing, so that's just necromancy. It is just necromancy. Or more specifically, it's almost like a weapon version of the what doesn't kill me skill. You know, the one where you get healing after parrying an enemy attack. It's so oh, what's this now? Is that a? Oh, I'll take you. No, not you. The other thing. Why does it have to be on top of this? It's dead to me. It's dead, Jim. Oh, how about this? Everything scales with tactics. Well, tactics does still have the best items. I feel like even if you did have everything scale with tactics, you would just default to the stuff that naturally scales with tactics. Okay. Good. Invulnerability after a kill? Sure, or like high dodge chance? Like some sort of weird heavy dodge-based type of thing. You ever play Darkest Dungeon? You know how dogs, the Houndmasters, can do dodge tanking? Maybe something like that? I think that would be kind of within the general wheelhouse of what you'd expect out of tactics. Or, I mean, of course, it's like that. You could also convince... I was like... so close. So close to getting the 60 kills. I'm mad. But you can... Okay, the thing is, it's like one of the things I was called out on was the idea that it's like the way I play is a way that would have you... I hate this. Is a way that would have you needing healing. Maybe it's just the ideas that I'm coming up here doesn't need to be that. It can be this... Tactics can be like it is, and it doesn't need to change. Hey, baby, you don't need to change just on account of old Docky here. Like, I don't know. Do you think that's a thing? Like, a mutation that lowers the cooldown reduction on roll is probably a good thing. Isn't invulnerability a shield thing, though? Yeah, it kind of is. So that would be sort of honing in on its territory, certainly. I don't know. Yeah, it's like you want to kind of have things be unique. You want them to have their own voice. You want them to, you know, realize their own thing. Fly free like the birds. Why did I wait there? That was so stupid on my part. I don't know. For some reason, I thought he wouldn't jump over to get me. But, I don't actually know what this says. Can somebody translate for me? You wanted to go for a swim there. Yeah, of course I did. As you do, the bro moment when you get volleyed between bombs from a worm. Oh, so many lost runs because I hate those things so much. So many lost runs because you get cursed and then you just get a little bit too ballsy when it comes to working with that stuff. Poison heals. Yes and yes. Oh yeah, just let's chat. Give me some topics here. Oh, why is it in Russian? Somebody wanted it to be in Russian. And I'm a people pleaser. Mutation that increases weapon speed like enraged owls. I don't think that'd be cool. I'm kind of surprised there is no like mutation based around weapon speed. I've always suggested that as being one for survival, but Motion Twin never really did it. So, can we switch back to English? Yes, we can switch back to English. Okay. This one? Yes. Okay. All right, let's go. Texas' most glass cannony, distance build, so maybe some mutations related to being at range attack, gives life steal. Yeah, I mean, that's something that I was thinking about, but I think I kind of come to the realization that that's really so much more of a survival thing that, like, I'd like to see something else. Of course, I do think that it's also just the idea that maybe this is just fine as it is. It's like tactics works really well for low cell difficulties. And, you know, when... I don't know. Like, I might just be trying to force my own ideologies on stats, as it were. And that's not really something that necessarily needs to be done in this game. I don't know if anybody wants to come down on that side, but I am throwing that out there because I do think it's a real possibility. That I'm just looking at the game from my own perspective, and that, you know, it does not need to change. I'm the one that needs to change. Okay. Is phaser, like, oh, the phaser doesn't work on an invisible enemy. Well, that's some kind of hot garbage. Like, I understand, but still, I'm mad. I didn't realize that was actually the case. What's new, Doc? You always do that. Yeah, well, maybe I should at least be honest with myself and at least say that. And at least make it clear that is, in fact, the case. But, like, Motion Twin has really tried to make each build viable in every circumstance. And there is a good chance that it's like I'm just not doing it right. You know? There's a tentacle on that orb. Wait, what? And this is rough being cursed here, but I should be able to deal with it as long as... Oh, got some good weapons here. Okay. That was kind of weird. That's what I was looking for. Send me through. Oh, boy. Elite enemies got a unique attack depending on their enemy type instead of just random electricity stuff. I mean, yeah, that is something that, like, that is a way that, oh boy. That is a way that, what is it called, works? The elite archers. Where they kind of get, like, the double arrows just to make it a little bit interesting in its own way. I do like that. I don't want leads to be any more annoying than they are. I do think that that's also a fair assessment, if I'm being honest here. A mutation that keeps extending the rally bar as long as you keep killing things after you're getting damage. Yeah, there is that whole, like, doubles the amount of time that you have rally, but then if you take damage after that, it gets removed anyway. So that if you're getting comboed to death, which is generally the way that you tend to get killed, it's not all that useful. Maybe if it would just be a little bit more possible to rally up your health for longer, or doesn't get rid of it if you get hit a second time. I don't know, something like that. Gray health. That's a... come on. The gray health, that's like a killer instinct thing or something, right? Does it work something like that? I don't know. I don't actually know how this stuff works. Scrolls. I know the scroll. I'm going to go back for the scroll. I want to take out these schmoes first. Okay. When are we going to get the blacksmith we deserve? Let's just use cells and money to attack affixes. I feel like that might be a little overpowered. Just a tad. To be able to choose what sort of stuff is going on. Is the syringe any good? It seems to be pretty good. The major problem that I was having with it is that you can't roll when using it. So you have to be a little bit cautious as to how you're getting the most out of that thing. On the Rampager update on Xbox, how many updates behind are on PC version? I mean, this is just the first one. I don't want to switch this out, but I think what I'm doing right now is going to be good. But yeah, I think this is still an alpha even on the PC version. We got some time before this technically even makes it to PC. So don't worry. There's this particular update's going to have a lot of time in the oven to cook and brown up nicely or whatever. So we back to full one-stat runs with these new Tactics glass cannon builds. I mean, I did try to kind of spread out my stats. It didn't work well, but, you know, that's also my fault, too. So, you know, what are you going to say? I don't know. And I do like this whole idea. And I am fully thinking that it could just be my fault that I'm not getting it. But that's why I'm here. That's why I'm having kind of an open air forum right now to see what other people are thinking. And okay, grab this already. What's good, what's bad? I mean, this is, all things considered, it's going okay. It's not an awful run, but not like incredible. I do think that there's room for improvement. Don't you like to use heavy crossbow? I really should be using heavy crossbow more. I do think that something with a Ripper, I said in that last video, it would be pretty good. It's just like, it's also more of a survival type of weapon, and I do think that it really shines when it is survival based. I don't know. Do you think the cursed sword needs to be buffed? I mean, the cursed sword is such a heavily gimmicky weapon as it is. I feel like, yeah, you could, but I don't know. What's great to use to grind for skills? I mean, just go full on tactics and just plan to restart after the first boss, basically. Anything really special here? You can discuss other problems about Dead Cells, no adult content. Where are the anime girls? I mean, there's mods. Always mod it up. They leave that open for you. I kind of want to just go for W, guys. If I'm going to be... like, that's going to help out a lot with the old tentacles here. I'm going to try it. But also, this is, of course, again, me focusing on runs that I like over a run that I should be building towards. It's frustrating. You're being betrayed by yourself when you do this sort of stuff. Also, I didn't use either of my keys. Cool. Good job, me. Big thumbs up. But, boy. What are you gonna do? Yeah, get out your face palms and your not like thises and everything. Just do it. I deserve it. Phaser good. Phaser is good. I'm using the Assassin's Dagger, and the Conjunctivius doesn't have a back, so it doesn't work as well in this circumstance. How about Rapier with Adrenaline and Master of Instinct? I'm not convinced on how good Adrenaline is just yet. She don't like Adrenaline. Grab it! Not asking for a lot here. Okay. Conjunctivius just has a back just hidden behind third dimension. Damn this 2D life that I'm living. But, man. Death awaits. Not yet. We're doing okay. And I took Necromancy just to try to maybe get a little bit of, healing coming in here. This is going to be malaise healing. I got Necromancy for the malaise healing because... problems abound. I don't know why I started swinging my Assassin's Dagger like a feather duster there. I just did. Okay, blast them and let's go. Those tentacles have backs? They do. And you can... That is the one thing that works pretty well in this fight is the tentacle phase here, you can actually get some good damage in. Anything else, though, not as pleasant. Ew, be careful. And I got hit anyway. Ran into the tentacle, as you do. Okay. Ooh. Reduce damage on crit. Yeah, it's like, with this sort of build, I do have the potential for critting a lot. Oh, that's not good. There's a lot of crits going on here, is what I'm saying. Oh, I got hit by that? You almost never get hit by that. What am I even doing here? Ah, it's terrible. Having a terrible time here. Yeah, what was that voice? I don't know, and I'm not going to think any more about it, neither should you. I'll go into the next phase. Yes! And I still got hit because it was off screen. Ah, good times. But anyway, I am feeling rather embarrassed with how the Conjunctivius fight is going, if I'm being perfectly honest here. It's not the best one. It's not the best one. Tentacles have some potential. I do think so. I just am going to have to screw around with it a little bit more, see if I can get some good stuff happening with it before I really make it start working in my favor. Yeah. Okay, come on. And one more. Okay, blast and... Oh, come on, come on. Okay. 2, 1, blast. And that should be it. Okay, man, that was maybe not... How defeated did I feel dying to the hand of the king? I really thought I had a better run. I mean, you can hear it in my voice, if anything. I actually cut out a big sigh at the end there, just because it was kind of loud. So, pretty defeated. Pretty defeated. Fighting Conjunctivius with a ranged weapon? Conjunctivius with a ranged weapon, I would say, is the way you want to go. Because that is... Like, she's so fast. Otherwise... Imagine fighting this boss with Spartan sandals. Oh yeah, I have done that before. That was actually the thumbnail that I used, me kicking the Conjunctivius in the eyes, or maybe that was spike boots. I don't know. Assassin's Dagger works wonder with phaser mutation and that reduced CD on melee kill. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not doing melee stuff here. We're full on in tactics land, which is why I got the next best thing. Reducing cooldown with each critical hit, which is serving me pretty well, I'd like to say. Got some good stuff going on here. Jump over here, and then I will just outrange you like crazy. Okay, shields are the way to go with Tentacle Monster Man. That does help a lot. You can, it's very easy to get that. It is very easy to get the thing. You know what I'm trying to say here. You can parry her very easily when she's rushing. There we go. Feel so sad Hayabusa items don't work with each other. I mean, as far as I know, I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. But, let's switch you out here, get back to the OG type of build. I do think it's going to be serving me a little bit better over time. Kicking Conjunctivius in the face with a spike boots run. Oh, okay. I couldn't remember then. Oh, yeah, right. The original Spartan Sandals was me kicking like a bunch of pirate captains off of the pirate captain place. Yeah, I have a very good memory for stuff that I've done and said in these videos. But anyway, auto aim on weapons that shoot upwards. Oh yeah, you get like magic missile. That'd be very good against Conjunctivius. But yes, kind of going back to the original point, if you just joined me in ye old stream right now, kind of talking about like, yeah, am I gonna get curled here? Well, it's just gonna be safe than sorry right now. Okay. One second. I'll continue talking in just 1 second. Okay. Anyway, I didn't get oofed. Shut up. Yeah, no, we're kind of talking about, like, am I the one who's just playing the game wrong, and the way the tactics is working right now is pretty good? Or is there, like, some sort of room for improvement? Thinking about maybe, like, changing it up so there's more dodging type of mutations, or maybe it's just something that is only bad on high cell difficulties. I just want to throw this open to you people, the people in chat. Got anything to say? You think there's any type of changes that you might want to see, or that I'm just crazy and incorrect in my assessment of how Dead Cells be? Voice crack under stress. Oh, you know it. It's not. What am I gonna stop talking just because I'm stressed? No, I can keep the line going on, the line of thought, barely, as you can probably tell, but it can happen. All right, you can't hit them if they're invisible. Invisible. I hate that. It's it clipped me. Clipped me. Okay. For tactics, getting longer HP scaling. I mean, being squishy is fine, but it's half the HP of brutality. Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what I was thinking when I was talking about, like, the easiest way to fix this would be to just, you know, give tactics more health. But that's also, like, come on, there's got to be a better alternative than that. And that's why I'll take the malaise right now. Screw it. This is kind of important that I survive. A mutation that stops time for a very short time? Well, I mean, we had that with temporal distortion to a certain extent, and I feel like Motion Twin ain't going to be messing around with that too much. I mean, it's kind of like how regeneration in Dark Souls was nerfed a lot versus Demon Souls, because they just knew how ridiculously powerful and exploitable it was. And bam. Okay. How about healing ideas on tactics and capitalize on tactics, which prides itself on tons and tons of damage? How about can the healing ideas on tactics and just capitalize on it? Yeah, and that's kind of what I was thinking. It's like there is just a case to be made that it's like, man, just go damage as hard as possible. It's just, I think that, you know, when you're with bosses, you know, you're looking at box elites, you're getting sniped from corners, and it's taking out like 90% of your health by end game. That Dead Cells is just a little bit too unforgiving in the amount of health that it takes when it comes to that. And it just, there should be some sort of way to do something. This is why I am talking to chat here. I'm just gonna kind of leave for about 5 seconds and then come here. Hardest boss you defeated in Bloodborne? The corrupted chalice, big old fire dog, whatever its name was, that I don't remember the actual name of. Guardian of the Old Ones? That guy was real rough. Ah, well, jump up here, you. Okay. Temporal distortion is still in the game, just disabled. Yeah, I mean, they tend not to, like, remove stuff from the game. It just gets kind of thrown in on storage until they can make it work for stuff. I thought brutality was the middle child. I mean, basically. You got high damage with tactics. You got, done. Okay, you got high damage with tactics. You got kind of middle of the road stuff with brutality and high survival with survival. Of course. And to be honest, I haven't really been getting a whole lot out of invisibility, but that's kind of because I keep forgetting that I have it. Watchdogs of the Old Lords. Yes, the one that you fight specifically in the cursed defiled chalice. You know, when you're going, it's an elite. That's not good. And, oh no, so close. And then, of course, gets shielded too for my big attack. This is all terrible. And there we go. Actually, not too bad. manage that one okay, and I will take that damage reduction. I think it's just the obvious thing to do right now. Okay, what was I even saying here? Tactic skill that allows you to turn back your health back to how it was a couple seconds ago. Oh yeah, we were kind of talking about that with like, you know, sort of like a permanent type of rally, like giving you health that you can regain over time. Gray health was how I described it, but I don't actually know all that much about the game that I'm taking inspiration from that from. I don't know. Had to get rid of one enemy, what would it be? Can I just get rid of Inquisitors? Or just a blessed scroll of genocide type of thing? Oh, it's punched me. Okay. It seems like apparently yeah, okay. The golem died anyway somehow. I'm not going to question it because I just need a win here. Arbiter, but no one goes to the cavern. Yep, it's a difficult area to deal with in so many ways. So you got to kind of have an exceptional run for an exceptionally difficult area. Take him down. All right. What's the best set to beat the giant? I like damage over time. I think damage over time will do you right when it comes to most stuff with the giant because you can really focus on why are there so many elite rampagers? Why? Okay. Ah, no! Oh, why? Okay, well. Demons, in my opinion, they make the castle vastly harder. Yeah, they really do. You can avoid demons for the most part in the game, except when you get to the castle. And then with the bombers, with all the other dudes that you got going on there, it just makes it a real hassle. Dude, just throw on the potion charge. I really don't want to do this. I'm running out of potion charges, but ouch. Punishment. Oh yeah, punishment is actually pretty good against the giant. I haven't gotten a very good build with that yet, but it's a good idea. Okay. Oh no, not that one. Ouch again. My pride. Well, this is getting rough. But, where's the food shop? I haven't unlocked the food. I haven't found the food shop yet. But there's going to be one in here somewhere, and I kind of got to go find it, like, right now. Please don't fall into the spikes and die. Boy, wouldn't that be terrible? I'll try my best. Buy-sell mode. Still quite rough. Okay, well, how much do I need for... Ugh. Can't even afford that, eh? Well, I'm having a rough time here now, aren't I? Would have smashed into that spike. I always know that there is a spike pit down there, which is why I know not to fall for it, basically. Bam, and... Okay, and... I gotta go get the scroll. Really gotta get that scroll. Oh, great. Well, I'm going to be really relying on that to work, and it did. Worked in my favor. You ever died by elevator? Yes. Unfortunately. All right. What else are we looking for here? I guess I'm just going to hit up the sepulcher. It's just, man, oh man. Favorite trap is the ball and chain? Yeah. It's great. It's a great trap. I love it. My favorite out of all of them. Is that what Death by Suicide is? Death by Suicide is if you use the lightning bolt for too long and you take a bunch of damage from that. That's the only way you can get that as far as I know. It's a rare death, and I think I've only ever gotten it once because just because I wanted to have a listing of Death by Suicide at one point. Oh, maybe you can actually die by, maybe suicide is also dying by elevator, but I haven't tried that out because, you know, death by curse is not counted as a death, I think. I think that's something different, so. Hey, teleport over there and start wrecking house. Now there's a good usage of the invisibility, finally. And yeah, when you can start to like one-shot these guys, you can plan this out a little bit better. I don't know. I still think that it could use more time. Use a little bit more time in the oven or something. Sure, I guess. Also did it once on stream. Elevator kill is something else. Trying to get Sonic Crossbow, and it's like getting a needle out of a haystack. Really make sure that you take the trap damage reduction mutation. That is absolutely essential for getting for surviving that. That's a very tough hallway to go down, let me tell you. Ugh. Watch Doc break that gold door by accident. I've only done that once. I'm gonna try to avoid that as much as possible if I possibly can. Lightning bolt run? No. That would be crazy. And the worst one. I had the invisibility. I had all the stuff to go there. It was just the worst affix for that one. Terrible. I mean, not that I know I wasn't going to be getting too much farther in this run. The stars were not aligning. I was 3 potion charges down, but still, man. Anything, just about anything else I could have dealt with fine when it came to that sort of elite. I would have been able to react fast enough. It would have been perfectly okay. Yeeting into an elite. I thought anything else I would have been fine. Oh, man. Invisibility goes away if you get hit. Well, I was cursed, so I wasn't going to get hit anyway, but still. Damn. Well, all right, there you go. There's a little podcast episode about what I thought about tactics, so if anybody else has anything to say in the comments. I don't know. I want to see what else is going on. So until next time, goodbye, everybody.